melekwana nyalelo aka we ọtụtụ mmadụ dị iche iche ebe ụfọdụ na-achụ ụja ebe ụfọdụ na-eji oji ma nwa n'ufe nke eluigwe naanị mmanụ dị n'ime ya ha niile na-ajanụ Chineke mma ha niile na-asị na Chukwu dị mma metie n'ime obi m ma gwa n'ime obi m si obi m obi m jaba Chineke mma mkpụrụ obi m obi m Ichano manya miri, Chineke. Ichano manya miri, Ichano manya miri, Chineke. Ichano manya miri, akwa nebe, n'ụtụtụ, Chineke. Emetụkwa gị n'obi, ude na-asụ, n'anyasị, Chineke.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Emeka calling for the phone.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
My brother Chero, time you need your for the late midnight here. I am the time for our program or daytime. But what Guinea Japan for the Jumam no Hure beg, you all for the morning, Nam no Hure Tota. On a yes, so good look at my weather and by the time I did a vote. Because,
Okay.
And the people came bong get pick, give man the busy. Give man had the busy, ignited gap. Because I na do broadcast at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
And the only who Nagwa Yokuta, former governor of the Kaduna State, Alhaji Balarebe Busa. So when Nagwa Yokuna, voice of Biafra International. Jehovah biko biko, Chineke biko biko, Jehovah biko lezienụ m anya, biko cheta m, chimara obi m, ekwela ka n'ụwa jụọ m ọnụ siri, olee ebe Chineke m nọ, ekwela ka ndị kọ n'ụwa kọrọ m. Ekwela ka ndị gị ụwa gwara m, ha kọrọ m ọnụ enweghị nwa, ha kọrọ m ọnụ enweghị ego, ha kpọrọ m onye iberibe, agaghị ekwe ka olebe Chineke gị nọ, ikwu na ibe
Please, can you hear me? Yeah, Lord, Achomo, Ahuimo, Chineke ekwekwala ka ha bụrụ onye ga-agbachi ọsọ ndụ ha ma mgbe ruru n'alaeze mmụọ. Achomo, Chineke biko biko ekwekwala obi n'igwe na n'igwe ekwekwala ka m bụrụ onye ga-agbachi ọsọ ndụ n'ụwa, ka m bụrụ onye ga-alụcha ọgụ n'ụwa, ka m bụrụ onye ga-abụcha ọma n'ụwa, ka m bụrụ onye ga-abụ kuru ga-abụ n'ụwa, ma mgbe ruru n'alaeze gị nna m. Achomo, anya mmiri ejula mmanya, Jehova biko biko ekwekwala ka mkpịsị alaeze gị, ka m bụrụ onye ga-agbachi ọsọ ndụ ha, ka m bụrụ onye ga-alụchara gị ọlụ n'ụwa, ma mgbe ruru n'alaeze gị nna m. Achomo, biko biko ekwekwala papa. Ekwekwala nna m. Biko 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 Jehova gị mere nna m nayọ, anya mmiri ejula mmanya biko Jehova. Nkọwa mmesoma ya n'ebe nọ, nkọwa mmesoma ya n'ebe nọ, chi ga-eji chi gabọ, ngaghị akọcha ya, chi ga-eji chi gabọ, ngaghị akọcha ya, onye bi n'igwe n'ebe nọ, ọwa mesoma ya, baba chigeji chigabọ, agaghị akọcha ya, aga m akọle bibuchi ọma na-eme mma olileanya ndị nsọ, aga m asọle ọ bụ sọ gị nyere ọ bụ ahụ ike, ọ bụ ezinụlọ ezi chọọ m mma, nakwa ebe eji akpọ gị gbasara Jehova. Onye ga-emere ka Jizọs, onye ga-emere ka Jizọs, ọ bụ onye ga-emere ka Jizọs, onye ọ bụ onye ga-emeso ka Jizọs,
Thank you very much, fellow compatriots, fellow Nigerians, and equally fellow Biafrans. I say fellow Biafrans because we are broadcasting live right now from Germany in the satellite station of the Voice of Biafra International. This Voice of Biafra International is set up by Chief Dr. Rapo Wazirike of the bim-massob family and by extension the Biafra Authority. The purpose of this particular setup is to give a platform to create an enabling environment for our people from different ideological, tribal, religious, or historical leanings to come and share views, ideas on how best to live together, how best to move on. And the purpose is this. At present, everybody is still part of the Nigerian Federation, but there are some sections of the Nigerian society that are right now agitating for independent nation. What are the factors that inform this? Apart from this, we are going to delve into some national matters, political, economic, and social. Good enough, we have a man well grounded in political economy, a man we can rightly describe as the Socrates of our time. He knows it all. He has been in the statecraft for a long time now, and in his knowledge and wisdom, our country can immensely benefit, provided the ruling class would humble themselves to listen to the voice of authority. Today, after careful selection, appraisal, and what have you, we came out with a special guest speaker today to address not only the Biafrans but Nigerians generally on current issues pervading the landscape. Today, fellow compatriots, we have with us former governor of Kaduna State within the period 1979 to 1981. He is here with us right now as our selected special guest speaker in the person of Alhaji Balarabe Musa. Alhaji sir, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. You are welcome too.
Thank you, sir. In this our broadcast, we have other correspondents that are joining me from different parts of the world. They are here to be part of the program. They will also ask questions, apart from the ones our numerous listeners here and there will be giving to you as soon as we are through with the questions from our studio. With me right now is Ume Maslidos joining from Lagos. Ume Maslidos, please say hello to our special guest speaker, Alhaji Balarabe Musa.
Hello, sir. I am
Thank you very much.
joining the broadcast from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Welcome to you to the program, Alhaji Balarabe Musa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to our listeners.
Thank you, Ube Maslidos. Equally with me from Ghana right now is Uche DG. Uche from Ghana. Please say hello to our special guest speaker, Alhaji Balarabe Musa.
Yeah, good evening, all Biafran. Good evening, our guest speaker, Alhaji Musa. It is our pleasure to have you in our studio. This is Uche DJ speaking from Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you to those who have identified themselves. Now, sir, I have to inform you that if you have access to YouTube and to Facebook right now, your picture is embossed there and it is streaming live in this particular broadcast. Why we have to emboss your picture, different pictures taken at different fora, is for our people. When they hear the voice of the guest speaker, they will not know it is no other person than a household name, the person of Alhaji Balarebe Musa. I am Sir Ikenna Obibi Egono, the moderator. Welcome once again to our program.
Thank you.
Now, to the question, sir. Sir, you were the governor of Kaduna State during the Second Republic.
Yeah.
Your tenure lasted for 2 years before the federal conspiracy handed you out of office, which today Nigerians continue to regret.
Yes.
But despite that vendetta carried out against you, a God sent to that particular state and to Nigeria in general to give us the best on how to teach us what governance is all about. Conspiracy never allowed us to benefit from your immense contributions, sir. But despite this, setback, you have still remained very much relevant in the state of things. Sir, what are the reasons, what are the factors that inform your unrelenting spirit?
Well, I have been a patriot since my early days in school. In fact, since I was 15, when a political party, a completely different political party, was announced in Nigeria, and that is the Northern Element Progressive Union, which clearly, right from the beginning, was socialist and pro-people. That involved me in politics, and I remain in politics up to today.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I must apologize. Something special skipped my mind when I was making the introduction. I have to inform our numerous listeners that just on the 21st of this October, Alhaji Balarebe Musa celebrated his 81st birthday. Alhaji, we say happy birthday to you, and may God give you more years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, at the age of 81, you are still very, very vibrant.
Yes.
By way of joke, what type of food do you eat that keeps you moving on and on tirelessly?
I eat ordinary common food. I have no particular privilege in feeding.
Okay, that is very, very good. Our listeners have heard you now, and I believe indeed they are going to emulate from you for them to live longer like you have done. I pray also to live long as you have done, and even more. Thank you very much, sir. Now, sir, during the 1963 independence constitution, Nigeria practiced true federalism. In other words, power was, there was a kind of outright devolution of power to component units. And during this particular time, career was given to talent. There was progress competition. There was no suspicion in the polity. Things were moving at faster rate. Even a few days ago, when you responded to what General Yakubu Gowon said, that restructuring is not possible, you made him to understand that restructuring is indeed possible depending on what someone has in mind. So, now, do you think it will indeed be possible for us to go back to the 1963 constitution that will make power be devolved to the component units for better understanding amongst ourselves?
Yes, definitely. I support restructuring in Nigeria because Nigerians have survived for 100 years, and it is common sense to review these experiences for the sake of more performance. I support restructuring in three respects. Nigerians should reconcile among themselves and work together to maintain one united Nigeria. This is good for Nigerians, this is good for Africa, this is good for the world community, because Nigeria is a very big country and has a lot of resources that can be managed to make every Nigerian be proud of the country. Now, we experience regional arrangement in 1963. In fact, the Constitution of 1963 was based on federal system of regions. Now, the important thing about these regions, and based on our experience today, is that we have 36 federating units called states in Nigeria, and they have all turned out to be unviable because they are small units. They are unviable, economically unviable, so unviable that even the state government cannot pay workers' salary. Now, this is a most terrible situation. But in 1963, under the 1963 Constitution, when we had 3 regions, each of the 3 regions was viable, where each of the 3 regions took care of itself. There was very little reliance on the federal government. Now, because of that experience, we are now saying, let us go back to this regional arrangement. But again, we have been troubling ourselves. We have undermined our sense of unity to such an extent that we need to reconcile ourselves so that we treat this Nigeria as one country we are proud of. So, first of all, we should return to the 1963 regional arrangement, because the regions are more viable than the present state we have today.
Okay.
They should be the federating units rather than the 36 states we have, which have become burdensome in many respects. Secondly, we have interfered with each other to such an extent that to maintain one united Nigeria, we have to sit down and reconcile ourselves so that we treat this country as something we are proud of. Now, I have to take us back to history. When the one administration came after the Civil War, we realized that there was need for reconstruction. And Gawan, as the president of Nigeria, did well. First, by fighting the Civil War without foreign debt and without economic hardship, as we are even experiencing now in the civilian regime. Secondly, he realized that we harmed each other and undermined the basis of our national unity. And he brought about a policy of the 3 R's: reconciliation, reconstruction, and so on. If that policy had been maintained to today, we wouldn't have had the problem we are having today. So that definitely justifies our need for reconciling ourselves. The third aspect of the reconstruction that we advocate is that of the economy. We believe in order for Nigeria to have even achieve the take-off stage on the economy, which Nigeria should have done so many years ago, which we have not reached now, to enable us to achieve the take-off stage in economic development, we have to return to the leading role of state in the economy to ensure peace, equality, justice, dignity of the human person, and progressive even development. So these are the three important factors concerning the restructuring we want.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Now,
Yes.
few months ago, to be precise, the former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, pointed
Yes.
out that the problem with Nigeria is within the elites that have grabbed power and use this power for selfish interests instead of the general will of the people. Similarly, 2 months ago, when we were interviewing the chairman of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Alhaji Shetima Yerima, he equally said that the elites are our problem, that ordinary Hausa person, Northerner, wants a united, peaceful Nigeria. In the same vein, 2 weeks ago, when we interviewed Major Hamza Mustafa, he echoed the same thing to the point of revealing that Abacha wrote a very good constitution that would have replicated the 1963 election, but power that be under Abdul Salami Abubakar doctored it. Now, sir, with all these things in mind, what efforts are people like you making to make sure that you address the National Assembly for them to come back to their senses and begin to think for the common good of the people of Nigeria?
Now, the problem with Nigeria is the socio-economic and political system controlling all development in Nigeria. And this system inevitably produces a political leadership appropriate to it. Now, it is these tools too, that is the system and the political leadership that it has produced, that are responsible for the negative state of the Nigerian nation. And if you really want a change, a fundamental change for the good of the country, and to provide for the welfare and security of the people, you have to change this system from one based on self-interest first, public interest second, to one based on public interest first, enlightened self-interest second. It is only then that you can have a strong, peaceful, and united Nigeria. And to start this, you have to start with the socialist reconstruction of Nigeria based on peace, unity, equality, justice, dignity of the human person, and progressive even development of the country. We cannot solve our problems and achieve even the take-off stage of the economy and have peace and equality if we continue with the capitalist system now controlling all development in Nigeria. We can't afford privatization, commercialization, and minimum government. No, we can't afford that.
Okay, sir. Now, we are now talking about factors that will bring Nigerians together in unity. But then there are also some factors that are hindering this coming together and instead raising the dust for agitation. And what are they?
Yes.
No sooner had President Muhammadu Buhari, taken over in the United States, had he said during an interview that there is a difference between the 97% and the 5%. In other words, those who voted for him would have 7%. Those who did not vote for him would get 5%. There was the president of a nation representing everybody, talking discriminatorily. Apart from this, since he took over the government indeed, virtually all the appointments had gone to the north 95 and then to south 5%. Take a look at the security organs. Take a look again at the recent appointments into the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. Everything was virtually cornered by the north. So, with all these things, how can one be talking of unity in the country?
Now, if what you are saying is true, and I'm not sure if it is true, there are still signs of that, but I'm not sure it is true. But if it is true, then mistakes have been made and have been made and they ought to be corrected. Nigerians should stand up and correct this by any means possible.
Yes, it is possible to correct the mistake, but it depends on who is involved. Like I said earlier on, in the security organs, there's no particular person from the east, southeast, let me say. In the recent appointments into the NNPC board and management, no single individual from the southeast. So, do you think southeast is part of Nigerian Federation?
I think southeast is part of Nigerian Federation, a useful part of Nigerian Federation, and an important part of the Nigerian Federation, and it should continue like that. The mistake should be corrected by any means.
Yes, it is possible to correct the mistakes, but it appears the power that be would need some hard talk before they realize their mistakes. Now, let us take a... Yes, go on.
The power that be will not be here forever.
Yeah, I think you are...
The power that be will not be here forever.
That is true, sir. I think those who have ears will hear what I have just said now. They cannot be there forever. There is a way nature takes care of every situation. And when nature strikes, human beings become helpless. This is a word of wisdom you have just said now, sir. Now, let us take a look at the components of the Nigerian Federation. In this context, we have the Igbos, let us say the Biafrans, because we have the Arewa, we have the Oduduwa equally. Now, every part of, there is no village in Nigeria you don't find an Igbo man, a Biafran. Developing, taking the particular host village or community as his own village. That is to say, if we, the Igbos, the Biafrans, don't believe in unity of purpose, we wouldn't be spending our resources developing other lands at the expense of the Igbo Biafran community. But despite all these things, we appear unwanted in the Nigerian Federation. We hold the economy, we don't hold the political power. Is there any way, sir, political and economic power will be merged for the nation to move forward, taking into consideration the role, the contributions of the Igbos in this?
Well, first of all, you admit that you are Nigerians, but you have fundamental grievances.
Thank you so much.
Secondly, you believe that you hold the economy, but you don't hold the political power. Now, there are other Nigerians who don't hold either of them. They don't hold the political power, they don't hold the economic power. Why not unite with them to bring about equality? Instead of seeking to succeed from Nigeria. Now, also, let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, as you have heard, I'm 81. I started politics when I was 15. That was in around 1951, around 1950. I know very well that the Igbos are the most nationalistic in Nigeria, or rather, were the most nationalistic in Nigeria until the Civil War. Before the Civil War, there was no talk of secession, or no talk of leaving Nigeria, no feeling of indifference about Nigerian unity. From the East, the people of the East, the Igbos, sought for one united Nigeria. In fact, they fought for a unitary form of the country. The problem happened only after the experience of the Civil War. It is then that Nigerian Igbos or the Southeastern began to appear as secessionists. But before that time, they have never been secession. Secondly, the North and the Southwest have always been secessionists. In the case of the North, they were not so vulgar about it. They were just indifferent to the unity of Nigeria. In the case of the Southwest, they were vulgar about it. They even spoke about a historical existence, you know. But the Igbos have always expressed unity for Nigeria. Now, even recently, after this unidentifiable coalition of Northern Youth issued an ultimatum to the Igbos that they should leave Nigeria by 1st October or else. The reaction of the Igbos was that they will not leave Nigeria because they have investment in Nigeria, in the north in particular, was 45 trillion naira. Now, 45 trillion naira means 4 years annual budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They said they will not leave, abandon this investment. This is commitment to Nigeria, more than the North or the Southwest have ever expressed. Has the North ever said, we will not leave Nigeria because of this? Has the Southwest ever said, we will not leave Nigeria because of this? So the Igbos or the Southeast have shown commitment to one united Nigeria, and they are committed to it, and they have demonstrated it more than any other section of Nigeria. But they have genuine grievances.
Exactly, sir.
And
now,
yeah,
go on, sir.
These grievances should be addressed by all Nigerians.
Yes. Now, indeed, Igbos have major grievances. And there are some individuals in the society that make these grievances to escalate by the day. Just like when Obasanjo was there, Obasanjo made a statement that any people defeated in a war would need 100 years before being reintegrated. That was a statement taken too far. And these are statements that, conflagrate the situation. But then aside from that, sir, during the time of this particular quick notice issued to Igbos by the Arewa youth, Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike, who made it possible for us to be using this platform to reach out to prominent people within the society. He came down to Arewa House in Kaduna and diffused tension and made peace. By so doing, guaranteeing the life and property of Biafrans in the north. In the same vein, giving the assurance that the northerners in the east are well protected. Sir, what character of Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike does this tell you?
No, actually, as far as I'm concerned, you have what you feel about him. But what I feel about him is that he is not the equivalent of a Drake of Africa. And what I want is from the southeast or the equivalent of Drake of Africa, who, in spite of provocation and so on, maintain one Nigeria, even during the Civil War. This was Nigeria. Now, that is the type of person we want. I don't think ability or whatever I call him, I can't resonate.
No, what he did was, sir, what he did was to come to Kaduna to make sure there was peace. He came to Kaduna. Yes, that's what he came for. To make sure there was peace, no crisis, that everybody should remain where they were, where they was. Sorry, please. Everybody should remain where they were, and not to panic. That was his mission to Kaduna. Yeah, that was what he came to do. Even when others were saying no, everybody should go. He came down to Kaduna Arewa House and said no, Igbos should remain where they were. And that's why I asked what character of Chief Wazirike does this portray to you?
No, but I don't want to assess him.
Okay.
What he did was very good. But it was a result of a patriotic response which didn't happen in 1966 by all the relevant leaders of the North. Because immediately this so-called coalition of Northern youth issued that ultimatum, they were condemned by all the responsible leaders in the North.
Okay.
Including governors, emirs, and so on, and civil society organizations. They condemned these irrelevant youth, and it is that encouraged him to come to the North.
Yeah, that is true anyway, sir. Now look at this, sir. Some people are of the Some people are of the opinion that majority of the Northerners are quite averse to restructuring. Even the word dissolution of the country is unheard of. Now, why some segments of the
first of all, you are talking about the lazy Northerners. We are talking about the lazy Northerners who don't understand that Nigeria is a federation. And anybody can make a demand, and the system allows you to counter that demand.
Yes. Now, people are asking, with all the rising agitations from different segments of the Nigerian society, why does it take the federal government, let me say, a kind of impossibility to call some of the leaders of these agitations together for a roundtable talk? What advice do you have for the federal government?
No, I think that is the right thing. And I think even the federal government is trying to do that. Even the federal government is trying to have a round table with all the aggrieved sections of Nigeria.
Yes, because
a federal government is not opposed to it.
This is exactly what people are saying. Where people are and they feel comfortable, they have all the good things of life, they have the security, everything provided in diversity. There will be no need for agitation, but it's only when and where there is a deprivation and depravity, people begin to allow some feelings to take hold of them. Now, people are now saying that steps must be taken to make sure that every group or tribes or nations grievances must be placed on the table and looked into. So Nigerians still count on you. Nigerians still count on you. What efforts, sir, would you make presently to convince every side of the Nigerian divide to come to a round table and discuss on how best to live together, fearlessly unfeared?
Yes. Unfortunately, this call is being made by so many people throughout the country because it is the only solution to build a basis for cohesion, unity, and progress. There is no doubt about it. And as I said, I don't even think this government is opposed to that. But the question is, you have to identify the relevant people. There are people in Nigeria that agitate simply because they want something for themselves, not for the country, not for the people. And there is no point going to the round table with such people.
Okay, sir. Now, the average Igbo person, boy or girl, is of the view that, what I'm saying, sir, the average Igbo person at present is of the view that they want nothing outside Biafra. Even some say Biafra or death. The reasons are not far-fetched because they feel like strangers or exiles in Nigeria.
Right. Yes. But can they prefer suicide survival? The Nigerian, let me give you an example where I said suicide or survival. Nigeria has a system, a presidential system, where any Nigerian can contest for the presidency. And the Southeastern or the Igbos are not excluded from this system. If today the Southeast or the Igbos can produce the equivalent of Zik of Africa, what prevents him from becoming the president of Nigeria? And if the equivalent of the Zik of Africa becomes the president of Nigeria, will there be any talk of the marginalization of the Igbo? Any marginalization that may exist or may continue can be taken care of by the president because he will be the president of all Nigerians.
Sir, in Igbo land today, let me cut in. In Igbo land today, we have equivalent of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Mbono Ojika, and the host, even Ombadiwe. But the problem is that the Nigerian factor does not argue the person to stand.
Let me contradict you. You don't have the equivalent of Zik of Africa from the East or the Igbo, because the system controlling all development has not allowed you to do it, to produce the equivalent of Zik of Africa. The system we have now is based on money power. Money power is the deciding factor in politics and elections, and that stops you from doing that, from producing the equivalent of
Now, sir, are you aware that the type of system that produced Nnamdi Azikiwe is not the type of system that is what we are witnessing today?
Yes, of course, I agree with you, because the system then was not based on money power as a deciding factor in politics and elections.
Exactly.
But you can, instead of fighting for secession, you can fight to produce the equivalent of Zik of Africa. It's not impossible. The equivalent of Zik the equivalent of Zik of Africa exists even now in the East or among the Igbo, but he has to emerge. Now, this emergence becomes impossible with the deciding role of money power in politics and elections. Why don't you fight that for all Nigerians?
Okay, sir. Now,
because the simplest way of getting rid of the problem of marginalization of the Southeast.
Yes, sir. You made a very latent point there when you said what we have today is money politics, when godfatherism is taking hold of our political terrain, and this is too dangerous for us. Now, talking about money politics, 2 days ago, the former governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife, was our guest speaker here. And there was something he said that reminded me of the Second Republic. he was unambiguous that in their days, they were talking about 10%. 10%. But today, that's 10% interest in whatever in governance. When you are doing something, contracts, whatever, you take your 10%.
Oh, okay, yes.
But today, the governors we have, the legislators we have today are talking of 90% interest, leaving only 10% to the people. I mean, for the people. Sir, what advice do you have for our governors and our legislators in this regard?
In the first place, let us have free, fair, and transparent election in Nigeria. Let the voters decide the fate of a political party and an election candidate. Let us go back to the system, even though it was a lower level system. The system we had up to 1970, because up to 1970, nobody could steal a kobo of public funds in Nigeria and get away with it. But from 1970 to date, if you are the president of the country, or the governor of the state, or local government chairman, or anybody that they appointed in one political office, you can steal any amount and get away with it. So let us go back to that system. It was a reform system. It was not even a system which is so efficient, but it was a system which was based on honesty. And we can go back to it. You can see what is happening now.
Yes.
We have anti-corruption agency, but the anti-corruption agency have turned out to be a laughing stock.
That is true.
So let us go back to the system we had before, where nobody could steal public funds and get away with it.
Exactly, sir. I remember during your tenure, like some other governors of your time, none of you had a foreign bank account. None of you had foreign bank account. Even the then, election commission.
Let me correct you. Some of us had foreign accounts. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Even at the point,
some of us had foreign accounts.
Okay.
Some of us took 10%.
Okay.
Because by that time the road had started. The road in Nigeria has started with the Second Republic. All the problems we are battling with started from the Second Republic.
Okay.
When the president allowed the legislature to do what it wanted to in its own interest.
Okay. Okay. It's really good, sir, that it came out from your lips that some of your counterparts then had a foreign bank accounts, and today the intensity is alarming. In Europe and America, our patrimony has been looted.
Sorry, there is some corruption here, please.
Of course, there is.
I think can you take a full minute just to correct the correction here?
Okay.
Yeah. Just a few minutes.
Okay, sir. We are broadcasting live from the satellite station of the Voice of Biafra International. To those of you who are joining us in the last few minutes, our special guest is the former governor of Kaduna State, Alhaji Balarabe Musa. He is today taking questions on current national issues, and indeed, he is doing justice to each and every one of them. Sir, are you back with us?
Hello, I cleared the obstruction.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Okay, sir. You're welcome back. Now, sir, when you were the governor of Kaduna State, there was peace, let me say tranquility in that state. People moved about, going about their normal businesses fearlessly. The southern Kaduna lived in harmony with the northern Kaduna. There was no discrimination between the Christians and the Muslims within your state. But today, sir, the reverse is the case. Day in, day out, week in, week out, there is a catastrophe of unprecedented magnitude befalling Kaduna State. How do you feel when you look back at the state you governed being thrown into conflagration, sir?
Well, in the first place, even during that time, many states in Nigeria, many governors in Nigeria maintained peace in their states, just like we did in Kaduna State. Kaduna State did not take any particular action to make it different from the rest of the country, other than that I think we address the issue in a more authoritarian manner than other states. So there is a culture of equality. The sense of equality, the sense of dignity of the human person was higher in Kaduna State. But definitely it was also reasonably high in other states in Nigeria. We didn't have the state of thing we are having now, which is prevalent almost in all the states in Nigeria.
Okay, sir. Now, one last question before we throw the floor open to the public. Right now, we have said earlier on, in the West, Oduduwa is springing up using Yolikon, Yoruba Liberation Command.
Yeah.
Their fear is lopsidedness in the federation. In the north, we have Boko Haram thinking of establishing Islamic Caliphate. In the south, you have the Niger Delta militants talking about the resource control. While in the east, we have the Biafra talking about outright balkanization or dissolution of the country. Their grievances appear to be common, sir. People at the center. People at the center. What advice do you have for these groups and to the people at the center?
Now, this secessionism, this desire to succeed from Nigeria, whether expressed in the fortunate dignified north, or from the arrogant Ududua, or from the rather, which I say, ungrateful south, or the aggrieved southwest, or arises simply because the system cannot maintain equality. As I said, the system controlling both movements in the country is based on self-interest first, public interest second, or even incidental. And we need to change that system, because if we change the system in favor of public interest first, and latter self-interest second, we will not have what we have today. Up to 1987, throughout Nigeria, we are not having the sort of violence we are having today based on ethnicity, etc. Why? Because up to 1987, there was a tremendous respect for human person. Even though self-interest has crossed into the system, but it was not as dangerous as when all these organized violence started in 1987. So to avoid this secessionist tendency, which has existed, as I explained, has always existed in the north and the southwest, even the south-south, secessionist tendencies have existed all the time. It is only in Igbo land that it didn't exist until after the Civil War. Now, all this can be taken care of if you change the system. If you have a system based on public interest first, and latent self-interest second, then you will not have these unavoidable friction. You may still have some friction, but that's not friction that will undermine the
Thank you, sir. Now, if these grievances are not ministered to, if changes are not made to accommodate disparate interests of different groups, sir, do you see Nigeria surviving the next 10 years as one country?
No, no, of course, no country can survive such a situation. No country in the history of Nigeria can survive such a situation. But we are facing the problem in Nigeria. As I told you, there is there are elections, regular elections in Nigeria, and the voters can be empowered to defeat those who cannot perform in the national interest and promote those who can do so. If I give you a typical example, these grievances of the Southeast, the Igbo, whether genuine or not, can be taken care of the system. Because if by 2019, Nigerians can produce from the Igbo race the equivalent of a thick of Africa, then there will be no grievances that can justify the Biafra secession. No. And it is not impossible. It is only when you make a mistake of saying that the presidency is donated to the East, and therefore the East can bring any evil. Then you will be repeating the mistake that was done in the case of the North, in the case of the Southwest, in the case of the South-South. Because when you say the people in the area should produce anybody, then you make a fundamental mistake. So this time, we can handle the problem of the grievances of the Southeast leading to the continuation of the Biafran agitation by making sure that we Nigerians collectively make efforts to produce the equivalent of the Stick of Africa from the Igbo land. We Nigerians should do that. And it is not impossible. For instance, let me give you an example in the history of Nigeria. Obasanjo became the president of Nigeria without the wishes of the Yorubas in the Southwest. They didn't like him because they thought he was whatever they thought he was. They didn't like him at all. But the North, the Southeast, and the South-South said they wanted Obasanjo. And Obasanjo became the president through election. So we can do the same thing if we Nigerians unite. And this is what the secessionists in all the country should do. Unite to bring about a united Nigeria that we can all be proud of, and install a president who is not relevant, not a president who is a northerner or a westerner or a south-south or southeast. No, a president who is relevant to the task. As I always said, the equivalent of Stick of Africa.
Yes, sir. What you said now is a very clear message that Obasanjo became Nigeria's president without the consent of his own background. That is a message.
Yes.
And I have to assert indeed with authority that we have equivalent of it in Igbo land, in Biafra land right now. And that informs the reason why in our agitation we want to be peaceful. And that means Biafra, it has been said, has two faces. One of the faces is this: we want a federation where there will be equal stakeholders, equal partners.
Yes.
But where that is missing, Biafra becomes inevitable. This is what we are saying.
No, you can work together with others, other Nigerians to bring it about.
Good.
Yes, you can work with other Nigerians to bring it about. As long as you are committed to one united Nigeria, and I believe you are, the only thing is the grievances bogged you down.
Yes.
Because I don't regard you as truly secessionist in the case. It is the grievances that has and grievances you have that has dragged you into this situation. And I believe this should be corrected.
Exactly.
And you, together with the rest of Nigerians, can join hands and correct this situation.
That is true, sir. Because what we are doing in Nigeria today, everybody is saying the same thing. Even the military, retired personnel, they are saying, like we are saying, we do not want another war in Nigeria. Because if it happens, we are not going to come out of it. Those who are advocating another war should take a look at Syria. Okay, sir. Go on.
Are you saying that the Biafra also don't want another war?
Nobody. I belong to the group, the bim-massob group that say no war in Nigeria. As we talk of Biafra, it's going to be through peaceful means, through non-violence. We don't want war. Our own side of the divide do not want war because we are abreast of what is happening in Libya, in Syria, in Yemen, in Iraq, in all these countries. Even over there in West Africa, it happened in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, and what have you. Those who are conversant with the catastrophe that is befalling all these countries would not like to talk about war. In these countries, sir, there are fathers without mothers. There are children without parents, parents without children. Every place has become non-habitable because of destruction of the life of the people. No person in his right thinking would ever think of saying, let there be another war. Even here I am in Western Europe, I live a comfortable life, but then I cannot say because I'm well privileged to be here, I instigate crisis back home in the country. Who is going to suffer? So, we are counting on people like you to reach out to other sides of the divide, to bring out the eggheads like you, and let us see if the philosophy you are propounding today will be put into practical terms. If it happens, Biafra becomes an ideology. But where they fail to understand our grievances and begin to take it as to be the master-servant relationship, I bet you, sir, the new generation will one day take laws into their hands, and the consequences might be volcanic. Thank you very much, sir, for the time you have taken to be with us and how you have answered the questions fearlessly, and you were very, very frank. I must say, sir, before we open the floor to our listeners, that in the Nigerian political terrain, we still remember the blessed memory of Aminu Kano. He was a man for all seasons, a man for all people. In our time today, we remember you with passion. I must be frank with you, sir. We remember you with passion. People like listening to you because you are always frank, not minding whose ox is God when you are bringing down the truth. More especially when Gowon few days ago said restructuring is not possible, and he made it clear to him that it's possible, provided restructuring is not for selfish purposes, but for developmental purposes. That is a mark of patriotism, sir. We thank you for your fearlessness. We thank you for your patriotism. We thank you for your open-mindedness. And we indeed pray that we keep on. Oh, sorry, sir. I've lost him. Let me see. Let me recall him. Sorry, please. Let me recall him. We just lost contact with him. Please bear with us now. We lost contact. We are trying to re-establish it. We are still broadcasting to you from the satellite station of the Voice of Biafra International. And our special guest today is Alhaji Barareba Musa.
At the moment, do hold on. I'll call back later.
Oh, sorry. I think maybe his battery is low because we are connecting him right now on direct mobile line. Let me still get on as we play a little bit of radio music.
Hello, the person you are calling is on another call at the moment. Do hold on. I'll call back later. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, sir, we lost contact with you, but we are happy to have re-established it now. We sincerely apologize.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Now, indeed, I was trying to say that you have really done justice to the questions we asked you, and we would pray that if you could move around the federation to source and sort out people like you to take up these issues we have raised, it will go a long way to bringing sanity in the system.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We are doing our best. We are doing our best, and we will continue.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, yeah, we are with you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are now throwing the floor open. Our callers are right now free to call and ask their questions. All along, our special guest has been addressing us. Many callers were, trying to reach him, but we said no. We needed to give him the time to finish addressing us before taking calls. So the floor is now open for. If you call in, you mention your name and where you are calling from. Every question, please, should be very, very polite. Put your questions politely and make it short. Remember, our guest speaker is a man of honor. At 81, God has kept him for us, and we equally pray to live as long as he has done now, as we also pray for more years to him. So, make your questions very, very polite, please. We hold him in highest esteem. Let me first of all take a caller online. Hello, caller online with number ending 2180. Your name and where you are calling from. Our special guest speaker is Alhaji Balade Bebusa, former governor of Kaduna State. Your questions, please.
Okay. I am calling from Uma here.
Go
My
on,
name
please.
is Joseph.
Go on. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? Do you have a question for our guest speaker, Alhaji Balade Bebusa?
Well, I don't have a question because I don't know the topic he has for us today.
Okay, we have been discussing for the last 1 hour or more on the problems bedeviling the nation today, why there are agitations in the country, and the possibility of diffusing tension if ever the national cake will be for everybody.
Well, that is for they have to organize themselves and know if what we are discussing they are in order with us, supporting us for the sovereign state of Biafra. I think that is all I have for them.
Okay, thank you very much. In all honesty, when we were asking questions, he took some of them that time. He really made statements on things that caused Biafra, and also pleading that efforts are being made to accommodate everybody's interest for us to live, together. This is what he's saying, and of course, at his own experience and age, we would not expect him to say anything to the contrary. Just like in Igbo society today, you would not expect Ohanese to come and support any crisis. That is true. The youth might think differently. Thank you very much for your words. Next caller, please.
Oh, okay.
Hello, next caller line. I don't know if Valentine, you are there online with us. Uche Digi is there or Ume Masleno?
Yes.
Yes, take up the question. If you hear, get to the question immediately, please. We don't have much time.
Yeah, thank you, my able moderator. I welcome you once again. Yeah, brother and our elderly man, Alhaji Musa, we honor you today because we know that you have something for us and you have educated us in many ways. And as an elderly man and well-educated man in the country, in the society, I want to ask you, sir, you must believe with me that the Nigerian come to an existence through the head of Fred Lugard and Flora Shaw, who written the amalgamation of Nigeria. And in this Western world today,
Yeah, please, Uche, hold on, please. Uche, hold on. No matter the degree of our certainty, we don't say you must. We say you may agree with me.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds polite.
Thank you. You may agree with me, sir, that these people, Fred Lugard and Flora Shaw, who made it possible for we to live together to this extent as one country, are from this Western world who understand the meaning of democracy. Therefore, these people are today being very, very open to their people. That any person can come out and act and express his feelings and will not be called a suicide. If the majority of the people decide that yes, that they want to be part of Scotland today, or Catalonia want to be part of Spanish country today, I think that the government have no option than to honor them as they practice democracy and not autocracy. Did you still see it as a crime for people to express their feelings, or not a crime, sir?
Well, you have given an example of what happened in overseas countries, including the most recent one in Spain. But you see, those agitators in these countries are behaving with maturity, which is not the same with Nigerians. Now, take the case of Spain. The region that has opted to leave Spain has now come out to say that they will continue their art station for a separate country in a democratic and peaceful. This is what they said. Those who are claiming, fighting for such a peaceful, they are doing it in a democratic and peaceful way. Do you know what is happening with the secessionists in Nigeria, whether from the north, southwest, south, or southeast? They are not being democratic. They are using force and threat. Now, because they said they will continue their agitation democratically and peacefully, the government also is responding in the same way, because the government of Spain is saying that the leader of the secessionists, who was the prime minister, can contest for the December election. Now, this is a mature approach to national problems from the government and the opposition. This is not what is happening in Nigeria. For us to agitate under the provision of the Constitution, we have to be peacefully without threatening the peace of the country.
Thank you very much, sir. Uche, did you got the answer?
Hello?
Yes, we heard you, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
We got the yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir, for giving us this enlightenment. But if I may remind you, sir, Biafran independent movement or Massob, the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, have existed for 18 years, and now we are not talking of violence. We are trying to make sure that we use the United Nations Charter, which give us the right of indigenous people. So we are not in support of anybody that is making a threat to any life. We are not in support of that, sir. So that
We understand that. We understand that. Yes.
Okay, please let us take a caller online. There is a caller on telephone line. Let us indulge the person. Uche, please a second. Hello, caller online. Your name and where you are calling from. Yeah, please. Our guest speaker does not understand Igbo. We have our guest speaker Alhaji Barebe Musa, former governor of Kaduna State. We would rather you speak in English language for him to understand.
Okay. I don't know the that's not the reason why
Okay, maybe you have to call in the next 40 minutes, but then we'll have concluded and we'll take your question in Igbo language. But right now, we are taking questions in English for our guest speaker to understand. He is here addressing us on current national issues as they affect our Biafra agitation. Thank you very much. Yeah, Uche, please make your own brief for another person to take over.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I must surely say thank you to our guest speaker, Alhaji
Barebe Musa. Yes.
Yes, thank you, sir, for answering the question correctly that it is not a crime for we to ask for independence through non-violence. Let our listener take notes. Thank you very much.
Exactly. That has been the principle or the philosophy of the bim-massob family under Owazirike. We have the right, fundamental right to agitate, but never through violence. We say no to any form of violence. Any Biafran, any Nigerian, anywhere in the world, any part of Nigeria is free to live there peacefully, do your business, but no threat to anybody's existence or life. No, we vehemently say no to that. And this is the message we are giving our honorable speaker today, Alhaji Barebe Musa, that we are not violent and we say no to violence. We don't advocate that. We want a peaceful environment. Next caller, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our moderator, I greet you. My name is Comrade Valentine Ugoji from Port Harcourt. and our guest speaker, Your Excellency, former Governor of Kaduna State, Alhaji Balarebe Musa. You are welcome. I've been listening to the answers you've been giving to the questions thrown by the moderator, and I am happy to the answers you gave, the enlightenment and the rest of it. Now, I want to say this. If there was an amalgamation of 1914, I believe that a secession is or will not be inevitable if the center cannot hold. Like we are talking about those at the center, the powers that be. Some call them the cabals and what have you. Now, when looking at the Nigeria, like when we have Major Hamza al Mustafa the previous week, he told us that our former president Sani Abacha has a constitution that he wanted to introduce, but the cabals, because of their interest, did not allow it to be introduced because that constitution would favor the masses. Now, going by the Nigerian setting, we find out that the constitution now favors those at the center and little to the masses. And if you look at Nigeria, you see that since Nigeria started, since we got our independence till date, or let me say from the amalgamation till date, the elites have been there. And they have been holding this country to ransom, if I may say. Now, I want to ask, if looking, going by what is happening, like our moderator said, that the agitation is in two ways. If what we are agitating, if maybe each sector can get what they want, maybe it might that the issue of agitation might be secondary. But if we didn't get it, now Biafra is inevitable. And from what I have been seeing, I find out that it is not possible. So, sir, I don't know how you look at it, because those at the center, I believe, they stand on what they stood for, because they are there for their own interest, if I may say. So, sir, what I want to ask, if what we are talking about, maybe as in self-determination and the rest of it, do you support it if those at the center refuses to allow the other sectors to get what they want?
I'm not able to follow the question.
Yes, you got it, sir. Yes, sir. He is saying now, if people at the center, government at the center, that is the legislators, what have you, the cabal, use the word, if they fail to make changes possible, don't you think that other things might follow?
Yes, of course, it's possible, but we have to prevent it.
Exactly.
We have to prevent it. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your honesty, sir. The caller Ubema from Port Harcourt, our guest speaker is saying, no doubt, if the center fails to effect changes, other feelings might succeed. He is very much blunt, and that is why I have always told you he is a man of integrity. He calls a spade, no matter whose ox is God. That's what we want. Now, next caller, please. I don't know which remember, please, are you online? Yeah, okay, Jude Chijo, okay, your question. Yeah, hello, Jude.
Yeah. This is Jude Chijoke. I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria. I would like to first of all say a very big thank you to our guest speaker, Alhaji Baribe Musa, former governor of Kaduna State. You know, we have been following you, or rather, I have been following you on the politics of Nigeria, and he has always been, he stands by the truth. He always speaks the truth, and I know him as a very strong opposition, even when people are, dangling, playing politics with things that happen in various places. He always speaks for the voiceless, and I really thank you for that, Elijah. Thank you for that. Now, on the issue of our agitation, I'm talking of the Biafra agitation. I believe that when you were talking, you touched various parts. But my question goes in a very simple way. The people of Biafra, our people in Nigeria, is not getting what we deserve. We are being shortchanged. We have been going. In fact, our people we are totally rejected, even in this present government. And I believe that the same Alhaji knows this quite well. And that is enough, for an agitation to come up, and which we have been doing for the past how many years without violence, despite any other obstacle. But we have been non-violence. So, sir, we, presently speaking to you, we are servants of Biafrans, and then it is what the people want, and it is what we are going to present, and we will be bold enough to tell it to whoever that is our guest, that our people felt cheated, our people felt that we are no longer part or treated fairly in the country called Nigeria, and that is the reason why we want our nation called Biafra. So, sir, my question is, instead of saying that we should, embrace the one Nigeria and forget anything concerning Biafra, why the problem are still there? Sir, what are you doing to ensure that our message is passed to the people that matter, not just in government, but most especially in the northern part? Because we have sent our message very clear that this is what we want. So, my question is, what are you and your other of your colleagues, as in coming together, doing concerning our agitation? This is what we want to go our own way, in a peaceful way.
Okay.
Not violence.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
And that is how you got the questions from him.
Yeah. No, I haven't got.
Okay. Let me make it brief. What he said now is this: if it's just like the question you took, the answer you took before, or that you gave us before, if the center refuses to hold us together, the possibility of scattering cannot be ruled out. And he is asking, as a personality we know, as a patriot, what guarantee do you give to our people that your people in your own group will reach out to other segments of the northern society, even in government, for them to understand that these people are part and parcel of the Nigerian Federation and not as slaves?
Well, first of all, you should be talking about Nigerians, not in the north.
Okay.
Because when you talk about the north in this case, I can't understand you, because the north is not the obstacle to your ambition. However justified it is. It is the whole Nigeria.
Thank you for that correction, sir.
Yeah, first. Yeah. Now, secondly, I'll repeat my solution. I said the system in Nigeria, the system ruling in Nigeria, however unfair it is, it provides a solution for your grievances. As I said, there will be presidential election in 2019. And this presidential election is executive presidential election. It's not ceremonial presidency. It's executive presidential election 2019. And these, the Biafrans and the Southeasterners as Nigerians have every right to contest in the election. Why not produce, as I said, the equivalent of Zik of Africa to be the next president of Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
To wipe out all marginalization and grievances and unite Nigeria. You can do that. In Nigeria, there are those who will support the the Igbos and the Biafrans, just as they will support others, irrespective of ethnicity and so on. And they will support you. And if you get that, what problem will you have then with the executive president from the east? What problem of marginalization you will have? All the problems would have been worked out at once.
Yes, exactly. And I have to remind our questioners or listeners that there was a statement which our guest speaker, said some minutes ago, and he made it clear that the center has to listen to the component units for there to be peace. But where the center refuses to make amends, any other feeling could succeed. He was quite emphatic on that. And we have to inform that if the question you want to ask has been asked and answered before, there is no need to repeat that. This is what we're saying. And right now, we are heading towards 2019 presidential election. Like the bim-massob family under Chief Wazirike is emphasizing that our agitation has to go through the political process. We have to get involved in elections and not to boycott elections as some people are advocating. This indeed is what our guest speaker is saying. We have to put our acts together to make sure we present a strong front to make and present our case. This is what he's saying. As we move on, we still, of course, reiterate some of the things he has said if your question relates to that. Thank you very much, sir, for your answers. Now, let's call it online. Remember, Maslenus, are you there? Or Sonny Bobo? Hello, Ume Maslenus. I don't know if I've lost contact with him. Or Sonny Emmanuel Wabisi, are you there? I know you have been online since. Okay, since I've lost contact with them. Now, sir, you see, all along we have been speaking, many we are calling, and people are writing in, commending the answers you have been giving us. Our people indeed are very, okay, let me see, I think there's a problem somewhere. Hello, who is online? Is that Sonny or Ume Maslenus?
Ume Maslenus is online.
Okay, now take over, please.
Okay. Alaji, sir, I'll come up this way. The problem we discovered with Nigeria, just like Hamza Mustafa said when he was our guest, is elite conspiracy, political elite conspiracy, which I believe you were once a victim of such conspiracy. And even the Zik of Africa you have been mentioning was once a victim of such conspiracy. And this elite political conspiracy has been the problem this country, Nigeria, has been having that hindered it from moving forward the way it is supposed to. And that is the reason why the agitators on our own part, the bim-massob family, after discovering all this and discovered that there's no way we can continue to accommodate such elite conspiracy and expect a forward movement in the Nigerian project, we decided to say, okay, let those elites be on their own side while we decide to find a way to save our people from these conspirators in order to move forward, because we cannot continue to be stagnant and claiming that we are moving forward. So if not by way of secession, what other means do you suggest that we can go about in order to dislodge this elite? Because there's no way, if you say through election, there's no way we can get them to get rid of them through election, because they are so powerful that if you are not in their book, you can never get it right with them anyway. So what other way do you suggest we can go about it if not the way of secession? Thank you, sir.
Well, first of all, deal with the elite in Poland and in the southeast who are together with the elites in the north, southwest, south, who bring about, they conspire to bring about the situation that the Biafrans and the Southeast and Igbos are complaining against. Because even among the Biafrans, there are those who are conspiring with others against the interests of the Biafra. Deal with them.
That is absolute, sir. Sir, I must commend you for this statement. You are 100% correct. That's, I think, Valentine, you got in that even in our Biafra agitation, there are other people who are conspiring against Biafra emergence. That is absolute.
Yeah.
That is absolute. It is the same thing. That we have to go back to the basics. Now, let me make this a historical reference. Everybody is aware of the French Revolution of 1789. The system in the French society was very, very stratified. Conditions of things became very, very deplorable. Life became very, very brutish. Human beings lived like animals, and there was no future. Series of complaints made could not enrich the ears of the monarchy. People one day took a decision. They gathered at the what they call one tennis court, and took an oath that they must never disperse until they had achieved their purpose. What next? They stormed the Bastille, dragged out Louis XIV out, and had him guillotined. Today, France is a better society. I am not advocating the same thing, but if the elites will drag us to that point where the poor will decide to eat the rich to survive, I will be in the front line. Just like you, sir. Yeah, if the elites continue to constitute obstacle to the welfare of the common man, when the common man would rise to eat the elite as dinner, I will cry for them. Because we cannot continue to live like this forever. Our people want to live together, but the elites are hindering this. This is a problem. They are very, very powerful. They are very, very powerful. So the question is, what steps outside electoral process can we use to dislodge them? Because they're too powerful. What other measures? Yes.
Remember, you are talking about elite.
Yes.
Which exists everywhere in Nigeria, including in Biafra.
Exactly.
So, you see, the get example of the French Revolution.
Yes.
The French Revolution succeeded at that time because it was national, not sectional.
Yes.
So the grievances of the Biafrans cannot be wiped out if the Biafrans adopt a sectional attitude.
That is true.
But they will succeed if they adopt a national attitude to the matter.
Yes, that's very true. Okay, now before I take the next caller, there's something I will ask you, sir. Over the weeks, there is a problem agitating the minds of the people of Imo State, where where Rochas Okrocha is the governor. I don't know, sir, if you are aware that Rochas Okrocha spent 500 million naira to erect ordinary statue of South African President at Owerri. I don't know, sir. Are you aware of that?
No, no, but you see, this is the challenge of the Biafra.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm coming, sir. First of all, you were a governor.
You have problem of marginalization throughout Nigeria to fight.
Sir,
and you have also internal problems of wastage.
That is exactly what brought me to this, because when you said that even in Biafra, we have people who are against us, Biafrans who are against Biafra emergence. That is what reminded me of this. Now, you were a governor some time ago, sir. As of that time, if a president of another country who has not impacted anything in your own state, would you ever erect his statue, spending such amount of money, when the civil servants, public servants and teachers have not been paid for several months? Would you do that, sir?
But but I'm Balarabe Musa and he is Okorocha. So that's two different.
Yes. No word of advice.
I will do.
Okay.
If for instance, we share a common philosophy, then you can ask me that question. For instance, if you are a socialist like me, then I would be able to answer that question.
Okay, indeed, we know you're a socialist and you believe in the welfare of the people around you. And that is why God has kept you so long. And their voice sounds like somebody within the age bracket of 35 to 38. You see, that is God's gift, sir. So, next caller, please. Next caller. I don't know if Sonny is there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, question, please. Because Alhaji has really given us enough time. We have to leave him to have some rest. Please, take your question, and that could be our last question.
Yeah, this is Sonny Baba Emmanuel from Biafra College. See, our special guest today, in the person of Brother Musa, I thank you very much for observing our call to come and speak to us on our radio. Please, I don't have much question, but what I want to say is this. As a socialist, and I observe you as a socialist because I was present when you visited the market on nature during the time you were contesting for the president of this nation. I saw you live everything and I saw everything in market on nature. And I appreciate your concern for other ethnics. But the issue is this now. My question goes this way. Since the emergence of Nigeria, we have been losing a lot of souls. Yearly, time and out, we count the numbers of youths being killed. It isn't either by Boko Haram or one religious crisis or one thing or the other. And not less than 5,000 souls will be lost yearly on a particular basic ethnic or religious problem in a nation. Don't you think that for us to separate from each other, in ethnic ways and maintain the relationship as neighbors or as friends will be better in order to save life? Because if you look at the situation of Nigeria, we count losses of souls being lost. Let me take for instance, during the case of Sharia, we know how many people that have been lost in the Sharia issue. In the case of Boko Haram, we know how many people. In this case of, just take for instance of this type of issue. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu started, right from 2015 till date, we have lost not less than 5,000 Igbo youths in the name of ignorance or whatever in this so-called Nigeria. Don't you think that separation or division and maintain the relationship and neighborship will help in order to groom work for the future of our generation? That is my question, sir.
Now, can you repeat the...
Okay, sir. He is saying that since the history of Nigeria, it has been a farm of bloodshed. Boko Haram is there stampeding, killing with impunity, both Christians and Muslims. In our own side of the Biafra divide, since the IPOB under Kano started its own, many souls have been lost. In between, here and there, religious crisis consuming the lives of our people. And upon all these things, the elites, the government of the day do not want to know no permanent solution. Now he asks, if these problems have defied solutions, is it not possible that we go our separate ways while maintaining cordial relationship under the international, arrangement?
No, the problem of the grievances does not define solution because the problem is being solved. For instance, one of the problems is marginalization. Obviously, there have been evidences of that. But for instance, take the present Federal Executive Council. The Federal Executive Council now in Nigeria. Take the case of the government parastatals. Take the case of the banking system. The Igbos and the Biafrans still being marginalized in spite of the composition of the Federal Executive Council, in spite of the leadership of the bank, in spite of the, the leadership of the president. Are there not proportionate Igbo leaders in these three sectors? So what I'm saying is that the problem is being solved, but let it be solved permanently. And the way it can be solved permanently is by the Biafrans, since they have accepted the unity of Nigeria, is by them coming out, participating in elections as equals and changing the situation. And there is an opportunity, as I said, with the presidential election 2019. Once you have a president from the Southeast, will you be complaining of marginalization?
Actually, sir, you had a very wonderful answer to this, let me say, some 40 minutes ago, when you said that when it was time to take a decision, Obasanjo, who was rejected by his own people, emerged as Nigeria's president. This is the message you are passing across to any other side of the divide. That if you come out to think of the unity of the country, provided every segment shall benefit, the rest of the country will give support. This is what you are saying. This is the message you are giving to us. Thank you very much, sir. It has been a 2-hour-long discussion. You have indeed proved a method that you remain relevant, you remain up to date. Despite being at the age of 81, you are still very, very articulate. We are asking the power that be, the cabal, the National Assembly, the legislators, they need...
In which you are represented.
Pardon, sir?
In which you are proportionately represented.
Yes, exactly, sir. We are here in the media asking them that if they could come to you and seek advice, or even listen to your words of wisdom and put all these things into practice. I bet you, at times when people talk about agitation, people will say, go and sit down. Because wherever you are and you are happy, why then would you complain? Take, for example, the country called Germany. They practice true federalism. Each side do things at their own pace while contributing some percentage to the national coffers. And upon this, anybody could come from any part of Germany to be their chancellor. And things move on. Here is a kind of welfare society. Government is in charge of everything. Sir, I remember what you said a few days ago, that we should not leave industries or any other thing parastatals in the hands of the individuals by way of privatization. That the best thing is for government to control all these things for the interest of the citizenry. That was absolute. In Germany here, sir, even the taxis or the buses that ply on the road are owned by government. Government controls everything: housing, transportation, water resources, name it. Government provides for everybody. They use what belongs to them for the interest of the entire populace. But in Nigeria, it is never so. Assuming Nigeria will send delegation to Germany to study their own brand of democracy, come back home and put it into practice, sir, I will bet you, both the Yorubas and the Biafrans will forget the idea of agitation in a day. Are you aware, sir, that in Germany here, if you are working and lose your job, for the time you'll be jobless, government will pay for your house rent, give you money to feed yourself and their family, make sure that everything you do it free of charge until you get another job, and government will even help you to provide another job. Nobody is not having accommodation in Germany unless you don't want. Government provides for all. And that is why the system is there. That is why every German thinks of Germany first. That is why they are highly patriotic, because government is there for them. But in Nigeria,
Because they are United States, you don't have
good.
protectionist.
It is because government at the center provides for them that brings about unity. But where some people are being marginalized, how can people talk of unity? So I appeal to you, sir, to talk to our legislators, the men in government, to come over to Germany, study their own brand of democracy, come back to Nigeria and put it into practice. You will discover that Nigeria will be a different place to live in. Thank
Let
you.
us teach our legislators.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the 2 hours you have been with us patiently, giving us the answers to troubling questions. We are indeed appreciative of all their efforts. And we thank you 1,000 times, expressing and extending to you the warm regard of the Igbo people of the Biafrans, especially from Ijele Ndibo, Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike, who made it possible for us to have you here today using this particular platform. We are indeed grateful, appealing, sir, that in time to come, when your services will be needed once again by word of advice, please oblige us anytime we call upon you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patience, for your understanding. Thank you indeed.
Thank you.
We hold you in highest esteem. May God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. From the satellite station of the Voice of Biafra International, this is Ikenna Obibi Egon, your moderator. All along has been Alhaji Barebe Musa, former governor of Kaduna State, addressing Biafrans, Nigerians, and the world at large in the satellite station of the Voice of Biafra International, which has been streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and satellite simultaneously. So we are now at the end of the discussion, and we have to now excuse our guest speaker while we conclude the broadcast for the rest of the day. So, sir, thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Fellow Biafrans, you are welcome once again. We are now through with our guest speaker, a man at the age of 81 and has taken time to answer our questions for 2 consecutive hours without relenting. And his voice sounding like that of a youth is a glory to God. It is because he's a man who calls a spade a spade. He is a man who looks you eyeball to eyeball and tells you the gospel truth. He doesn't want to know where you come from, but is there to tell you the gospel truth. He was blunt, admitting that if the center fails to admit Biafrans and give them their own share in the politics, Biafra becomes inevitable. He admitted that. He also admitted that if the center does not want to effect changes in the system, anything can happen, and that he cannot guarantee Nigeria surviving the next 10 years if the federal government fails to do something tangible by calling all the lead agitators to a round table and discuss with them to find out their common problems. These are more are what the Honorable Alhaji Barebe Musa has been telling us by way of answering the questions we threw to him. Thank you very much, on and sundry. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, fellow Biafrans, for being with us. We are through with him, and for the rest of the minutes, we are here to discuss on interactive level. You are welcome to the program. Once again, Jude Chijoke, you are there. Sonny Babo, you are there. Valentine Bogod is there. Uche Druji is still there. Equally, Ume Maslenos. We can now talk freely and talk to fellow Biafrans who are still hooked on to this particular program. Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. We can take then the next 20 to 30 minutes and then round up this particular broadcast. You are welcome. Now, Ume Maslenos, please, you can take over the studio. Are you there, Ume Maslenos?
Yes, my brother, I can thank you.
Okay, now take over the studio, please. I step aside, I will be briefly back.
All right, thank you. It has been indeed a wonderful broadcast today. And fellow Biafrans, I believe we all must have learned one thing or the other from our guest speaker. Today has been Alhaji Barebe Musa, the former governor of Kaduna State. Now that we are in the interactive section, I think what has been and is still on the matter of discourse still remains the Anambra election, whether to boycott or to come out en masse and vote on the 18th day of November. And I think we still have to, since our brothers and sisters are still listening to us, we use this opportunity to continue advocating for them to come out on that very day to elect any candidate of their choice. And anybody trying to tell you to boycott the election, see or understand that person to be the enemy of the Biafrans, enemy of the Igbos, enemy of your own very self. Because the boycott of the election will not do us any good, rather it will do us more harm than good. And it is on this very note we keep hammering on it that we must have to come out on that very day to elect any leader of our choice. There are different people, there are different persons, different individuals who are contesting for the governorship of Anambra State. It mustn't be we know they are not, it mustn't be anyone, or it must, you know the person you want to elect, and it is your duty to come out that day to elect anybody of your choice. And it was on this note I call on my fellow crew members who are online with us to say hello to their friends and give them your words of advice or encouragement on what to do on that very day.
Hello, my brother. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello, I'm hearing you go on.
This is Sonebo calling from Biafra.
All right.
My good brother, I thank you very much for this very issue, because it's the issue that concerns the interests and the future of our people. In the case of Anambra election, we encourage our people on that very good day to go out and mass and vote for the candidate of your choice for the good appearance of democracy in our land. We don't want a situation whereby that the military will take over the governorship of the administration of Anambra State. What we want is just a democracy, because with democracy you can excel. So with democracy, even the common man can say this was a money in the presence of the administration. So the issue is our people should go out and vote in mass the candidate of your choice. We don't have a specific candidate. Whoever you think that can do better, please go out and vote. Ignore all this no election or no election of a team. It doesn't do us any good. It can't do us any good. It cannot help us. And I want to put it in correction that there have never been any nation who have their referendum by boycotting election. There have never been any country in the history of the world who have their independence by boycotting the election of a modern nation. Please, our people should ignore that wash and the propaganda lies of some ignorant people. Please, we need to maintain and sustain in order to retain, so that we can head for the betterment of our future. There is nothing like no election, and there is nothing like a boycotting of election. Election must hold. We are fighting for Biafra, but we are not to condemn or destroy or destabilize the activities of our mother nation called Nigeria. We are going on a non-violent platform, and through non-violence we shall actualize Biafra. We don't want anything that will jeopardize the future of our people, that will jeopardize the health and the condition of our people before Biafra is actualized. Please, our people should go out and vote for the candidate of your choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonny Bobo Emmanuel, for that wonderful contribution. And a word is enough for the wise. It is left for those we are talking to take a decision. And we pray that they take a good decision, because it won't do us any good. It won't do us any good at all, because most of them are now crying that one of the reasons that they won't come out to vote is because when our people were being killed, that the governors, none of them came out to speak. But I tried to ask them one question. You are expecting the governors to come up and speak when our people were being killed. But when you people were towing the path of violence, we were trying to call you to order, and all what you were calling us then, that we are cowards, that we are sellouts, and all what have you. Then, when the consequences of your actions came up, you started looking for whom to blame. Now we have come up again to advise on the best way forward, and you people are trying to show that maybe you know what you don't know. So, my brother, Jude Chidok, I believe you are there. What have you to say to fellow Biafra and Umbrella in particular concerning the 18th November election?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ume Marcelinus. I am, indeed happy for the way you were able to bring up the issue of Anambra election, because all along we have been discussing other issues with our guest speaker. Now, to the main discussion, we have been emphasizing for long, and we still emphasize, and our people have listened. I believe that our people have listened, because a lot of people that I was able to, interact on on the meeting today, they were all saying this. I love this candidate. I love this other one. I don't like this one. I don't want to mention any particular candidate or any particular party. But from from the little interview and from the voice of people who are definitely going to be in Biafra land, talking of Anambra State during the election, a lot of them have been saying that they will vote this particular person, that if this particular candidate moves to their town or their local government, that their people will never support him or her based on this or that. So I think it is a good thing. It's a good thing. So I'm also trying to, advise the other youths who are still believing that, that they can achieve anything by cutting an election, to desist from such, and, key into the election, things, and then the proper way. Because I believe this is the only way we can get what we want. If we want to get our position, even in Nigeria, if we want our Biafra to be actualized without any violence, in the peaceful manner, we have to fully participate in any election. Presently, we have to continue to participate in an election and make sure that we vote our own person in. Because the question is, if we sit at home and pretend as if, let's say we sit at home and we feel we don't want to, go out and vote, how are we going to feel? For other part of the state, with trailer, where just somewhere where sit to vote in a particular party. Then at the end, we will sit at our own home, and tomorrow we will hear results. That is definitely another result. Also, or not be able to vote. You must definitely hear the result. So it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So I will continue in wherever, to appeal to the youth. Most especially, I'm talking to the youths, because I see youths, which we are also part of them, but we are not among the people that we are brainwashed, because we actually know when somebody is lying. When these other groups under the camp came out, we know that these guys are lying. We know that these guys were never sincere. So I thank God that a lot of youths started keening. A lot of people have always found who to vote, who not to vote. And I said, I love this. Some people said some projects in their particular area were done by so person, that whoever this particular governor brings, that's who they will vote in. Some people say they love this party. Some people say they like the ruling party. Some people say they don't like this particular party. but they love the candidate. I think this is exactly what we should want, because I believe at the end of everything we are going to vote in, and I'm using this opportunity to call on all the fans. Let's put our heads together and vote in a candidate who is going to support our ideology, who is going to be a governor of Biafrans, not a governor of that is going to be playing politics with our people. Because I hear the cries of people when people are saying that we are not being getting our shares in the particular country, where our people is being cheated. Even in your own state, you are not getting what you are supposed to. I think people to work for us due to we are the people that voted them in. But if we allow Abuja or some people somewhere sitting in another particular place to impose a governor on us or bring in a sole administrator, I think we are the people that are going to suffer it most. And believe me, it is the people of Anambra. So it's a message to Anambra people. You push to ensure that we tell our youth, our loved ones, even to the villages and every other part of the state, to tell our people to come out on the November 18th and ensure that they cast their vote. Thank you very much, Mamus, for the opportunity to speak. Thank you. Can go on.
Yeah, thank you very much, good tribute. Indeed, we will keep advocating for Anambra election until the election is come and gone. We cannot stop speaking, and I thank you for having been able to make some of the youths to take decision and start discussing the election the way it's supposed to be. And for those that are still ignorant and those that refuse to learn or to understand, I believe before the election day proper, they must have seen one reason or the other for them to have a change of mind and to the path of non-violence and peace, for peace to reign, because there's nothing we can achieve or get through violence. It is Biafra we are talking about. The election is what we make the international community to understand how peaceful people we are. Boycotting the election wouldn't do us any good, because some people will continue to use Catalonia in Spain to as a reference point. We can understand what is actually happening now. There is the detention there now is very high in Catalonia, because it has turned out to be something of they never expected. And that is what will make our people now to see that the bim-massob family, indeed, we are pace setters when it comes to agitation for nationhood. We are pace setters, and that is the more reason why our people are supposed to listen to us and obey whatever instruction we give to them concerning the way forward in the Biafran agitation.
And let me cut it, please. Let me cut it a bit. Honestly, for some days and weeks now, people have been calling and writing, expressing deep gratitude and appreciation to Voice of Biafra International and its crew members. They are saying that if not for vobi, it would have been a different story. That Radio Biafra London would have messed up the Igbo society completely, the Biafran society. That it is vobi that has now come to tell them the truth. That if not for vobi, they would have believed all the lies being peddled by RBL on this Anambra election. But thank God that vobi came at the right time to put records straight. And even some politicians, I must be candid with you, some of them have been calling, sending messages, thinking of using vobi to have a kind of a party leaning. I tell them no, that the essence of vobi is to be a platform for everybody. We don't campaign for any political party. or candidate. Though a candidate can say, okay, I want to be part of their program to say something, we allow you because you're a Biafra. But we cannot just organize a program for your party or for you as a person. No. Even when they say we can pay for it, I say, look, if people give me money, I'm a human being, I will eat it. And I will be honest to you, if you give me any money, you cannot will eat it. It's our money. But if you give it to me, you will be losing your deposit. The much I can do to you as an individual, write a story for you in my own timeline, Facebook timeline, my own private world. If that will satisfy you. But for me to use vobi for it, I tell you, it's not possible. But if you insist and give it to me, I give you a account. If you give it to me, I eat the money. You lose the deposit. It's, heavens will not fall. So this is what we're telling our people. We are here. Let us take a caller, please. Hello, our caller online. Your name and where you're calling from. Yeah, we cannot hear you, please. Caller, please speak out. You're not in wooden service zone. Speak out. Let us get you very well. The service is still failing. I don't mean to Joseph on here.
Joseph Oti.
Okay. Kebis Nabo. Okay, indeed. Ungwagwa ihe baba. You're welcome.
Him kwena bo. Awuro na di possible. I will be possible. I indigenous region. I cannot bataya. I know guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sonny, Baba, you are there. Sonny, are you there? I must be honest with you, Sonny. Let me give you this message. Already, I have over the times informed the chief of this particular complaint. For the past 1 week, people have been complaining against the Umaya zonal leader that he is messing up the system. They don't know if he's an agent of the Nigerian government to destabilize the bim-massob family. They say that this man has been causing problems, creating division here and there, trying to tell our brothers from Akwa Ibom Cross Rivers as if they are not part of the Biafran society, even when these people have sacrificed much. So they have been complaining. Even people from Owerri do call at odd hours to complain against the activities of this. What's his name again? Somebody, let me get his name, please. F.I.S.Ekwem. F.I.S.Ekwem. Yes, F.I.S.Ekwem. That he has been creating problems. People from Owerri call and come. Every Biafran calls to complain that this F.I.S.Ekwem is becoming a problem in our bim-massob family. Please, Sonny, when you get to Owerri tomorrow, some of you who will be going to a meeting tomorrow, get this matter as a topic there. Take it as a topic. Before a problem escalates, let us nip it in the bud. I have already informed the chief. I've also written to him in this regard. But sorry, please, take this matter in person to a meeting and table it there. Probably this SIS will be at the meeting. Let him answer some questions on why he is trying to create problem within the peaceful bim-massob family. Thank you very much. Back to you, Maslinus.
I've been getting such complaints also. But we treat our matters in a fairly way, in a way where we can see that we are trying to intimidate or frustrate anyone. So, but I thank you for all this evidence, because what you told me now is another evidence. Because I don't table issue with that evidence. The case of Ezekwem, I have personally treated a lot of his case on myself and settled some of one problem or the other in the issue of Ezekwem. But I have now another opportunity to settle some matters which I have received a lot of complaints. You understand? So that the issue is that to God be the glory. So I see what I can do on that aspect, and I will go for that to make sure things went well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Back to the moderator, Maslinus.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that a brief call from our listeners, and I must appreciate those. That's to show you. That's to show you that both the Voice of Biafra International are indeed serving the purpose for which it was established, and that will make me to say more kudos to Makele Igbo, Chief Dr. Raf Watrike for taking it deep in his wisdom to make sure that we have a soft voice. To get our people are benefiting from it. If not Gobi, how will these people have been able to do their matter? So thank God for our able leader, because of Zelensky, the chief of coming back to the annual election and all manner of confusion that the narrative are trying to create, and that the people will continue to live in confusion in Biafra land. But by God's grace, we will never succeed. But they've never succeeded before in any of such attempts. And the annual election will not be an exception. So, my brother, Uche, are you still with us online?
Yes, I'm here.
What do you have to tell an umbrella that apply in my expression the Biafra?
Yeah, my brother. Before I go on, I would like to ask our brother Lecture Ludense and Sonny Bobo Emmanuel and Valentine, please, can you put your phone on mute, please, so that our listeners will not be encountering the noise on the ground. Regarding the today's topic and our guest speaker, what we have spoken today, I think it is an eye opener to our people wherever they are, and a lesson to be learned about this Anambra election, because this can taught them what they need to know. Because when our guest speaker was speaking about one Nigeria, I asked him, the people who amalgamated Nigeria as one nation, they practice pure democracy. And I give him an example of Scotland and Catalonia. Those people who was given a freedom of speech, a freedom to express their feelings, And you tell me that yes, it is on a non-violent movement, which even United Nations have stated before, I think last year, that then a country agitation they are going to accommodate is the one that is going to come through non-violence. The one that is going to come through non-violent, I must say it again. So for that reason, once our neighbors who are the northerners have even agreed, which is the ex-governor Musa, have agreed with us with our ideology of non-violence that was established since over 18 years now. So they have to understand. So they have to understand that it is only by non-violence that we are going to achieve this dream. Let them understand that we are not in any way asking to fight. What we are going to have, the weapon we have is our wisdom. The weapon we have is our vote. The weapon we have is if we vote, we protect it. So now, even if I may even advise the IPOB, bim-massob or bim-IPOB or even journalists and the other rest of them, human rights, I would even acknowledge them. Once we have realized that Nigerians politicians that may be put in by their godfathers or by our enemies to come to take decision on their behalf, if they cannot represent our interests, I believe it is the right time for we to even go outside and reason and mobilize those that is going to represent us, so that we can be able to encounter, so that we can be able to present so that we can be able to send those that is going to go to Abuja to represent us, those who are going to present things about us. Look at what is happening today in Catalonia. Look at what happened to even Cameroon. You know, so that when these people are there, like Senator Ben, have to tell even Nigerians over there to replace the bite of Biafra, to place it back in the world map. So this is the fearless people who are going to buy our ideology. We need to go outside and agree on something and place these people there to represent us and present some people that's going to speak of us, that's going to speak for Biafras. So the telling people, not to come out to vote. In fact, we find no vacancy at all in Anambra State or in Biafra. It is not in our favor. It is not in Biafran's favor. It is not in Anambra people's favor. So what they have to understand is, even though if they come or they do not come, election is going to be conducted. So they have to come mass and vote and make sure that we place those who are going to speak for Biafrans or in Abuja or in Anambra State, so that Biafrans will not die, so that they are not going to continue to kill or massacre our people. You know, like what we experienced during the time of Obasanjo, like what we experienced today in the time of Operation Dance and Kill. They said it is Operation Dance and Smile, but what we saw in other states is Operation Dance and Kill. You know, so what we are telling our people is for them to come out in mass and vote, even though that we may not have the chance to out who is going to represent us in the national level. There is more time. We can even decide in 2019. We can even go out and decide on who is going to represent us and make a difference. So this is what I am trying to for Anambra people to understand the importance for election, the importance for them to come and vote in this coming election, the importance for them to come out and support their brother whom they think that is going to represent them accurately without even killing them or being against their ideology. I think my able moderator is not connected. I think you are there.
Yeah, I'm listening. It's Marcellus who's in charge now. Okay, Marcellus is in charge, please.
Okay, sir. So what I am trying to let our people to understand is that without their vote, without them coming out to vote, how can the world understand how they feel? I can remember during the time Rochas, who is even squandering our money today with, on a statue that make no sense, contribute nothing.
Yeah, please, let's take a caller, please. Let's take a caller. Hold on. Hello, caller with number 0831 ending. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Joseph Ejendo.
There we go.
So, sir. It's in the
Oh, the man.
I'm an 18 maka. Open on an 18, but I'm not indigenous leader.
Yes.
No one will call our name of the all the potential do not come at the end of that. When you see a woman, you go down. What we are seeing is the dog.
Exactly.
What I done before, God, is and you never done before. All the never forget a thing here also. Okay, there's really great team with you and have apple that value.
Oh, the man. Honestly, I told you equally have a series of reports, and they will this report to headquarters Owerri. And right now, Sonny is just online. On this complex. Okay, I got to meet Owerri tomorrow. So here I say everybody should be rest assured that a change must be effected in due course because Echezena Udeze is joining us right now from Japan. Udeze, you're welcome to the program. Hello, Udeze. Okay, we have lost him. So that is it, please. That's the caller, please. We have had you. I am Hikru. So I get to go already. You said go with it, and I get make changes very, very soon. What we are doing is to make sure there is peace within the bim-massob family, and that is it all. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ikenna, this is Jude Chijeke.
Yeah, refer to bim-massob. She's not in charge, please. I'm making contribution. Go on, please.
Okay.
Jude,
Yeah, remember, Serenus, please, I would like to, I beg your indulgence, and I would like to make a little bit reference, concerning the issue of this FM-based equipment that we've been hearing about. I think I would like, whenever the matter is resolved or probably treated, I think I would like, for us to be informed how the matter was treated, so we can as well, relate it to the air, because we can't just hear a complaint concerning a particular person, then later on we will now be told that the matter has been settled without we knowing if actually these allegations are truth, because I believe Biafrans in worldwide and some Biafrans we also like to know how we are able to resolve our own matters, because I believe the issue of the breakouts and the IPOB and all those kind of stuff, which must have started in a similar way. So I think the maturity will come when we resolve this matter and as well air it out. I don't know if Sonny Bobo Emmanuel can understand what I'm saying. I would like, whenever we are able to resolve this matter, we should as well relate it to Biafrans. Masalinus, I don't know if you get my point. Hello, Masalinus, are you there?
Okay, maybe he's not there. Let me, if he's not there, which DG, keep on there. I'm sorry. Echezena Udeze, are you online with us? Sonny Baba, are you there? Valentine God is still there. Because we have 5 more minutes to round up the program. 5 more minutes and we are done, please.
You can check if you must have moved.
Yes, yeah, I think I have lost some of them. Only Valentine, of course, Valentine God is online. Sonny Baba is online. DG is there.
No, check if you moved the Facebook.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now go on, please. Thank you, Jude, for that. Because there was noise, that's why I muted it. There was noise from that angle, I muted it, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Jude.
I noticed it. Thank you.
Yeah, so gentlemen, who is there? Valentine, Sonny, Uche, and Echezena Udeze. So.
Yeah, Echezena, please, can you go on now? You can.
Hello?
Yeah, Udeze, please, and we are live with you, can address us. We just finished our interview with Alhaji Barede Musa, Kaduna State former governor. So, we are now having interactive session.
Okay, that's good. Thank God for that. So, according to what I hear now about the issue in where it's from, that's why I want to keep something in. What do I believe? I don't need any distraction or any mistake. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and that has been dragging us back, destroying the struggle. I think that in the case of that man, whether it is true or it is lie, whether the allegation is true or false, the leadership of Massob and Bim should look into that matter very well. And if I should suggest, this is a kind of issue they suspend such person for that very moment in order not to make further mistakes. Then at the end of the issue, if the person is innocent, we can carry on with the person, and there will be apology from the board of director of bim-massob in the person also, in order not to make mistake. And this should be emergency. Because sometimes we are saying to go on next one, when you spoil more things, damage more things. In that very case, we should be extra careful. Because anybody who is not with us is against us. Anybody who is with us is not against us. So we have to be extra careful in that very particular issue. Because we are trying to bring people in, and someone is trying to drag out the people out inside out. That will be a very big blow on this struggle. We are now trying to mobilize people, to bring people. Because the importance of this region today, we have people who can lay their complaint, we have people who can say their mind, not because of voting. This kind of issue literally destroy us. But since it has come up, have to be careful, and the way you play this is determine in our next move and our next step. But there are other people,
Please, people should check their background. There's much noise coming from somewhere. We cannot tolerate it.
It's from Sonny Bobo Emmanuel. Please, can you mute your please, Sonny?
Okay, go on, please, with this. Yeah.
Because actually the labor force have an absolute support for the if there is any people to suspend or to punish in doing such mistake, it should be the leaders. For other people to learn, for other followers to learn that this is the standard of bim-massob. This is the quality of bim-massob. But in the case whereby you overlook what the leader do or what somebody do, somebody in the hierarchy do, that is other people can do whatever they like. So have to be careful about that. Should not look at anybody's face while dealing with people who are doing wrong. Let me cut to an election issue. Yesterday we have our program because I told you last weekend that yesterday came up yesterday. That program came up yesterday. So I will tell you that we really achieved a lot of things.
That's good.
Yesterday, as we achieved a lot of things. There is a great joy and happiness yesterday. Everybody was celebrating before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. Because there is a heavy regression. There is a heavy celebration yesterday. A lot of people came yesterday and saw what they don't expect to see. Because so it's not the issue of no election and around. You know, this is what I am telling people to start doing very far now. I've said that blessed are those who bring unity among others. This is what we should start doing now. Bringing our people together very far. If there's anybody, any people that is having problem, bring them together and make peace with them. Yesterday was a very great and wonderful day for we people here in Osaka, Japan. Because before the meeting, some people came and they were shouting, "Hey, brother, I've done this since 8 years. I hope 6 years. I hope this is 9 years. Also, you guys in Japan." That is a well joy. There's a lot of joy yesterday. And this is what we expect. All corners of God. Even in our own land, in our own country. So in the issue of no election, some people still disagree because they don't understand. When you get people the implication outcome of no election in Anambra. But people have been able to understand that the statement election is like we, the Anambarians, Biafra, even not our enemy to destroy it, explain them. I will tell it about this election issue. And the first part of it is that this mistake that's in the election, there are deeply confused. Some are saying there will be no election, some are saying boycott the election, some are saying if you come out to vote, you will die. And now nobody knows exactly what they mean by the boycotting of election or by saying election. So whether they will be the INEC that will take of the election that has gained the election. That proves that it is movement. So INEC has the right to see the election. No other country has the right. They are only the people who are like to say there is no election. Right? Our people put it on. Yesterday, I learned that two of us starting the election, those asking about no understanding, shouting for the election to the meeting. But another form of our brother yesterday told them that boycott of election was simply fighting our enemy in our land. It didn't just the court. And to destroy us again. So I thought yesterday, meeting, we achieved the Lord. Also, they take our people to reconcile. We reconcile a lot of also yesterday, and we are moving forward. Thank you for putting that. That is how.
Thank you very much, Echezena Udeze from Japan, for addressing us. We really appreciate your contribution. We know it's very early in the morning over there, yet you are awake to be with us. We really regret that you are not here with us earlier on when the former governor of Kaduna State, took time out to be with us 2 good hours, and he answered our questions very, very well. So, fellow compatriots, I must say that we have indeed come to the end of the program. We have exhausted 3 good hours and we cannot continue. Our next broadcast should be on Tuesday. Of course, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, not Thursday, please. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday again. I have been instructed by Chief Dr. Afo Wazirike that we should be using Sundays for interviews and weekdays for interactive session, random matters that concern Biafra and Nigeria generally. So we have taken that instruction that every Sunday we shall have interview, we shall be having guest speakers, but weekdays, random topics, random matters that concern Biafra and Nigeria. Thank you very much for being with us once again from wherever you are, for being part of the program. We thank you 1,000 times. And we have to say by word of reminder to our brother Echezena Udeze. Honestly, over the week, there were a series of complaints against this particular SFM in Umahia, who is the zonal leader. People have been calling, even from Owerri, complaining something. On 2 times, I have complained to Chief Dr. Afo Wazirike, and this morning again, I sent a written message on Sunday because throughout last night, 5 persons called to lay the same complaint, and we cannot leave that matter lying low. So that's the situation of things for now. Thank you all for being with us in this particular wonderful program. We keep on informing, entertaining, enlightening our people. This is what vobi is all about. And like somebody said, we must not relent on Anambra election until after the 18th. That is it, and we must do it. Already, election has been concluded. We are waiting for the result. Those who are saying election boycott have failed, and they will keep on failing. Don't be surprised. The next thing they will say is there will be no Christmas because Christmas is a fetish celebration. Watch out. They are likely to say that. We are waiting for them until the hour. Thank you once again for being with us, and may God bless you and bless you abundantly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say something anyway. Hello?
Yeah, go on, please. Go on.
Go on.
Please, it's about this issue of where I want to